Hello and welcome to the Cinebums podcast with Luke and John. We're going to be talking about a few things today, but the main thing of today is we're going to talk about The Office, specifically the infamous season 4 dinner party episode. Um, John and I were office friends in high school, specifically
That's how
office
we
and
bonded.
office and basketball friends. And so I think you're gonna see that skill set unleashed today at the maximum capacity. And I think like one of the main reasons we're doing it is because I think there's a lot of moments on the podcast where we're supposed to be talking about we're trying to talk about something, like maybe some recent movie that came out like we don't understand, like for instance, the Phoenician Scheme, and then all of a sudden it becomes a talk about The Office, which is something we do understand. And so we thought, like, why not try talking about things that we really seem to understand a lot about. And yeah, and so we're starting off with the dinner party episode. I know this is a movie podcast specifically, but I think we'll make the argument as the episode goes on that The Office Dinner Party is almost like its own short film in a way. Uh,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, and I almost think that this particular episode is weirdly, it feels very casual right now, but it's weirdly like a long time coming for John and I, perhaps like you know over a decade in the making, would you
Yeah.
say?
Yeah. People have been asking for it for years and we're
Yeah, yeah,
finally getting to it. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, we'll talk about we'll talk about Office Dinner Party backstory, but stay tuned. Stay tuned for that. Coming up. Um, I guess to start off today, though, it was 4th of July weekend, and I wanted to tell John. I held off telling John in our briefing meeting at the beginning here about my trip to the Sideways Inn and the Hitching Post restaurant. That's what I did at post 4th of July weekend, um, with my lovely mom and dad, who were so gracious to take me to the Sideways Inn. Uh, it's funny. I think I about it last year, maybe about that being a possibility, and it took.
hmm
I did it. I think it was like a summer of last year.
You
Uh,
manifested it.
I manifested it, and I'm so happy. I'm so grateful to my parents for taking me. One, because I don't really have any friends who would really want to do that with me. That's the main reason. You know what I mean? I think like the most I get is I'll tell someone about doing it, and they're like, "Oh, that sounds cool," but they're never are they like, "Yeah, I would definitely be down to
They're
do
not
that."
really committed like you are.
Yeah, that's the problem. The
Yeah.
commitment side of it, and I am probably more into the movie Sideways than most. And so in the past year specifically, uh, I had some things going on, like personally. I almost consider my past year like a mental health year in a way, maybe like a rebuild year in a way. And there were just days where I needed extreme comfort of the highest order, like a comfort watch, and maybe some just solo drinking alone by myself in my guest house in Northridge, California. And I would do that and watch Sideways like I beat it over the head. Like I had uncles as a kid who would watch like Dumb and Dumber and Ace Ventura over and over again. And I remember I was a kid and I'd be like, look at these guys, 40 years old. All they do is watch Dumber, Dumber, and Ace Ventura, and I would be like, they've got it fucking made. Like these
Yeah.
guys, that is the
My kind
best
of
life.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah, that is the best life I've ever seen. And now I've been doing that with the movie Sideways. Uh, and was so into it that like I can name the wines in the movie, and I wanted to just go and do this so much. And uh, first off, for people who don't know, there's in Sideways there's a hotel that they stay at called the Windmill, which is a very kind of, I don't know, it's like kind of very portrayed as a very budget kind of shitty hotel in Santa Barbara wine country. But because of the extreme like success of the movie and the legacy, if you will, of the movie, it's now called the Sideways Inn. Um,
Oh,
yeah, and so when you walk in there, there's a bunch of Sideways T-shirts. Um,
gotta have the merch.
yeah, there's a bunch of, they don't even look like, I mean, maybe you could help them, John, with the design, but they don't even look that good. Like they say, like there's a shirt, there's like a shirt that says Sideways like 5 times in a row. And you're like, that's what they came up with.
They probably
Um,
just like picked some like t-shirt print shop nearby or online, and then it's just like whatever the five generic like
right,
designs
right,
you do for everyone. Then they just did that for
right.
the Sideways Hotel. Yeah.
And then they have, so there's like the wine, the big wine from Sideways. Just if you're curious, John, that maybe the most talked wine is the Post Highliner Pinot Noir. So
Ooh.
they have a bunch of Highliners just stacked. They're probably charging it for way more than it actually is worth. And there's a green Sideways label on all of them. So I thought that was pretty sick.
Yeah. Did you take some home?
No, not really. I had one at the restaurant. Yeah. Fuck. I
Gotta go back.
should have grabbed like a case. Um, but and so hotel fairly standard. And then went to the Hitching Post restaurant, which is like right down the street from the hotel. Um, in the movie, they walk on this like main road. There's on the road. We drove,
Ugh,
so I didn't get to do that.
took away from the experience a little bit.
Another disappointing thing. uh, and then we get to the Hitching Post restaurant. Again, same situation. Sideways T-shirts, but actually like a little better at the Hitching Post restaurant. So I recommend to travelers out there, or whoever wants to do this, if you're looking for better merch, it's at the Hitching Post, not at the Sideways Inn. Um, and The Hitching Post, it has the exact feel as in the movie. And weirdly was actually like I was not expecting much, because I was like thinking I'm just going 100% for the novelty of like the fact that I'm just a nerd about this movie.
Yeah.
But it was actually like a really damn good restaurant. Like she listed the specials and there were like a million, and I was like, wait a second, that all sounds great. This is like a legit like good restaurant. And the food was fantastic. And then I drank a Highliner while I was there, and me and my folks had a great time. Uh, and I wasn't able to drink at the Hitching Post bar like they do in the movie, because that place was very filled up. So that was like another disappointing on a string of disappointments, John. That was another disappointment. Um, but that was really it. The day was very simple. I got those two things in, and it was very fun. And again, thank you to my parents for uh, doing it with me. They were kind of just as into it as me, and they're like, "So does he sit? Where do they sit in the
Where do they
movie?"
sit?
Yeah, it's like
That's cool. I was gonna ask if they were like as into
they were. Yeah, yeah.
the movie
They're,
stuff. Yeah.
they're like, "Luke, do you recognize any landmarks at the hotel?" And I was like, "Yes, that balcony there."
Paul Giamatti stood on that balcony sipping on a
Yeah,
Pinot Grigio. Yeah.
yeah, of course.
Yeah, this it looks cool. I'm looking at the Hitching Post. I like places like that. It looks kind of unassuming. on the outside.
Yeah,
Well, I'm very happy for you, Luke. I know you've
yeah.
been dreaming about this for a while, so I feel like you need to clip this and use it as like your
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
review.
Like a
Uh,
yeah, side
the
by side thing.
sideways retreat review or something like that. Yeah.
Sure, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know if anyone's as into Sideways as I am. I would say doing the trip is worth it. You can even we did the minimal. Like you can do more the probably than what we did, and like go to wineries. I think like there was something about like when you go to a small town like that. I think we were just like there was so little to do other than going to the Sideways Inn and the restaurant that it was like, all right, let's go. Let's
Yeah.
go back to a more populated. Let's go to Santa Barbara, or
How far away is it from you?
like 2 hours. So
Okay.
not too bad. Yeah, not too bad. And then we hit Ojai on the way, which is
Hmm.
like a
Heard of
talked
it.
about place. Yeah, I've heard of it many times too. It was one of those where you just walk. I know you've probably been to many places like this where you kind of just get there and there's like this main street with like they're like, oh, there's a coffee shop, there's a bakery place, there's
Hmm.
a music store, there's a restaurant, there's a winery, and you just walk down the street. That was really all there was there. Um,
Hmm.
and we went to a breakfast place, and the waitress was like, she's like, "Would you like your honey on the side?" to my mom, and we were like, "What the hell?" But they were like weirdly like nice, where you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm in a small town now.
Yeah. A small town where like people it seemed to me on the from the outside, it seems like they'd be more like hippie-ish. I don't know.
Like
I
in
don't know if you got
Ojai.
that vibe. Yeah.
Yes, they were. Like there was this really hippie-ish guy at
Spiritual,
the
maybe.
winery where he
Yeah.
was like, all our wines are made like natural. Like this bottle, I'm not sure when it peaks. You never know. It's each bottle of wine.
Man, I'm so envious of that
And I
guy.
was like, yeah, yeah, you always feel it's fun to picture you're like, his life is perfect.
Yeah. Why can't I be him?
Like, when
Yeah.
you go into those vacation goggles modes, you go visit wherever you're visiting, you're like, these people clearly have perfect lives, everything figured out, no cynicism whatsoever. I'm sure they never complain or feel
Yeah.
negative emotions ever.
Yeah. We were on a boat one time and we did in Hawaii with like my family and one of the guys on the boat, it was just like two guys that were like leading this like little boat trip. And one of the guys was like a biology student
Wow.
who's getting like he was getting his like maybe it wasn't PhD, maybe it was master's, but he just seemed like this total stoner surfer dude. But he was so knowledgeable about like marine biology.
Yeah.
And it was just like he's just this like stoner bro living in Hawaii, learning all about coral reefs and fish. And he
Mm,
was like so into it that it's like, what has this guy unlocked that the rest of us don't? Like
right.
he's just living on a totally different level than the rest of us. Um, he sounded like Spicoli or something, you know. It was
Mm,
yeah, those guys, they're just they think
yeah.
differently. Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's always those people around on like vacations where you feel like they were designed by the world to make you like feel envious or something, or like to show you that, oh, this is another way, there's another way
Yeah.
I don't know, or
Yeah, yeah.
something like
They've tapped into something that we haven't yet.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. John, you saw it 28 years later.
Actually, yeah, I was just gonna I guess I haven't had some
And I saw you five
life-changing
starred it. Yeah, right. You just
I
went to
haven't
the
had
movies and saw a new zombie movie by Danny Boyle. Yeah,
I haven't had a life-changing trip or anything, but I did see 28
right.
years later, which Yeah, I thought it was awesome. It was a great time at the theater, and it this was not just like some standard zombie flick, Like I feel like it's almost hack now to talk about how zombie movies are maybe overdone. But now we've had like Final Destination come back this year, 28 years later. And I think I Know What You Did Last Summer. Maybe I think that's coming back
Hmm.
this year as
That's
well.
coming up. Yeah.
So far, everything's gotten great reviews and turned out to be pretty good. Um, and I haven't seen
Yeah.
Final Destination yet, but 28 years later, I thought was an absolute banger of a movie.
Yeah.
Super fun. Um, and I also thought I thought there was a great story to go with it, that there was some moving scenes that I was getting choked up at the end, and maybe I'm just a softie, um, but yeah, I thought it was a really great movie and just had the perfect amount of just bonkers, insane shit. Um, like I don't know if this is much of a spoiler, but just like ripping heads off with like the spine still there, like just insane stuff like that. But then there's also like heart to it,
Nice.
and it clearly seems like they're gonna make more with this kid that was like he was the lead, and he was great too. So I'm excited to see what's next. But I highly recommend it if anyone out there is thinking about it.
Yeah, I saw you five-starred it, and I was like, okay, I should probably see it then.
Yeah, then you know it's good. If I five star
Right.
something, if you can get me to five star something, then you know it's
Yeah,
good.
get you to five-star
Me,
some.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a tough cookie. So uh yeah.
Yeah.
And I also want to shout out something I rewatched. And I think you would like it. But I think maybe if you're unfamiliar with the people who make it, you might need like a couple viewings um to get it as much. I don't know. That's not the
Okay.
right phrasing, but I rewatched Rap World, which,
Yeah, yeah. You talked about that.
yeah,
Uh,
that was on
in
my
your
2024
yeah, your
list.
top 10,
Yeah.
right?
And it
Yeah.
reminded me of us talking about Dee Dee, because it's like this same exact time period uh
Right.
of
2010s, our childhood.
yep, of these like suburban
Yeah.
kids, except this is like the unhinged
Mm-hmm.
real like loser version of Dee Dee,
Okay.
where it's just a bunch of idiot like lowlifes trying to make a rap album in the
Nice.
suburbs, and
Yeah.
uh
This
yeah,
is one I've been meaning to watch for a while, and especially since I know it's on YouTube, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like
yeah,
there's a
the
lot.
Connor O'Malley sphere.
The Conor
That's
O'Malley things. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah.
I started to listen to this podcast called Joy Tactics, which is it has like the three guys who do that are all in this, and they do a lot of stuff with him too, and it's like this whole world of like indie alt
Hmm.
comedians that are
Nice.
all working together and making a lot of like funny shit right now that I think um like it's almost like the like rap world is kind of like a uh millennial
Mm.
Spinal Tap in a way.
Oh hell yeah, dude.
That's yeah. And definitely not in like the same, I wouldn't say rap world would ever get like a big audience. Um necessarily. It's definitely more niche, but it for sure
Right.
is like along those same lines. All
What
right,
was the
yeah,
other
that's
movie? Conor O'Malley, the other Conor O'Malley movie again?
um the probably his other biggest one is The Mask. Um that's where he's a big improv nerd from Villa Park, Illinois. And his
Well, that
goal is
sounds
to meet,
perfect. That sounds
yeah,
great. Yeah.
his goal is to meet Colin Mockery. And yeah, he's just like a Whose Line Is It Anyway super fan. Um, and yeah, it's it's also just insane and crazy. And that's what I like about his stuff too, is that you really have no idea where he's going with any of it. And yeah, I'd also recommend Corey's. That's that's probably like a
Corey's the
5 or 6 minute
mass.
one. That's a shorter
Okay.
one, but
Oh,
it's
okay.
the like the the editing and the practical effects, like the makeup, it's kind of crazy to me that he just like throws these videos up on YouTube because there's actually a lot of work that goes into them.
Okay, so I went to the theater yesterday and saw F1, um the Brad Pitt, Joseph Kosinski joint. Uh
Nice.
Joseph Kosinski, the man behind the great Top Gun Maverick, of course. And I think to start my little review here, I think you can definitely tell that it's the same, guy from Top Gun Maverick because there's a lot of similarities. I felt like specifically the world view of the movie, if that makes sense. Like
Interesting, yeah.
inspirational, like almost borderline corny, but maybe not too corny. Like the kind of because I feel like Top Gun Maverick is a little like that, where it's like men can do anything, like almost like a sports movie.
Yes,
How it
yeah,
ends like a
yeah.
sports movie. That's what I mean. Obviously, it's F1, so it is more of a sports movie. But there is a side to Top Gun Maverick where it's like, all right, we're training, we're trying to overcome these odds, and there's a lot of obstacles, but at the end of the day, we're hardworking, you know, Americans, and we're gonna do it. I feel like F1 has a little. I don't know. I don't follow F1 in real life at all.
Me
So
neither. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I think, but like, I got really into this. Like, kind of like Top Gun Maverick. Like the way it's shot is very exhilarating, and
hmm
definitely should see it in a theater if you're interested. And um, I feel like the plot and the narrative is very just of F1 is a little just forced and put together, and it's not that interesting. And I felt like I was mainly like zoning out to a lot of just very repetitive scenes of just like where the movie feels like a montage, a lot of it of just like a driving montage throughout,
Yeah.
and a lot of races where there's just so much going on that I don't know, it all kind of blends for me.
hmm
um I'm a huge Brad Pitt guy, John. I know you like Brad Pitt too.
Yeah.
uh
Love him.
I'm trying to think of who I could compare Brad Pitt to. I almost feel like when you watch Brad Pitt, I'm like in awe of him, like the way you're in awe of like a musician you really like, one of the Beatles guys, or I don't know, like Dylan, or someone who's just like oozes cool, and you're just like
Yeah.
they're this other. But it's kind of funny because like Brad Pitt's not really writing like songs like that. He's kind of just going like, yeah, yeah, I'm Brad Pitt, like yeah. Like there's a moment where he's in a press conference interview in the movie, and they're asking Brad Pitt questions, and he just goes like, yeah, yeah, to every question. And it's just kind of funny. You're like, I don't know, you're like, this is all this man needs to do in this movie to you know to be the box office king, I guess,
Yeah,
or
right.
whatever.
Yeah.
Um, there's definitely, it's cool to see Brad Pitt in this, but there's definitely, and I think him and Joseph Kosinski are a good pair, the way Cruise and Kosinski are a good pair. But there's definitely better Pitt movies for sure. But he works a lot in this role. And he definitely him being in it motivated me to go to the theater.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm such a fan, of course. Um, so I don't have much more to say about F1, but I did rewatch Moneyball last week because, as you know, I love Moneyball.
Of
You love
course.
Money. We both love Moneyball. Everyone does. I feel like I ask.
Yeah.
Mostly men. Like, you know,
Such a guy movie. Yeah.
yeah, a little bit, but
Baseball,
yeah,
numbers,
yeah.
stats, you know.
Statistics, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, love it. Yeah.
When I watch it, I want to get like the book where about like the economic whoever wrote the book about
Yeah.
Moneyball. But there's this line in the movie I really like where like a new line in the movie I like where Brad Pitt goes like, "If we play like the Yankees in here, we will lose to the Yankees out there," that's it.
Yeah, I have not gone to see F1, and I feel like there's been a few of these like car movies. Like it's like once or twice a year there's like a car movie like this that comes
Yeah,
out. They're like
yeah.
F1 or
The
Ferrari versus
Ford versus
Ford
Ferrari.
versus
Yeah.
Ferrari, and uh I did see that one, but I'm just not a big car guy and like car racing that I did actually because I was curious. I watched a little bit of that NASCAR race in Chicago and I was like, "Oh, that's kind of cool. They're going through the city and stuff." But yeah, I just really don't give a shit about cars. So I applaud you for going to see F1 out of your Brad Pitt love. But
Yeah, because I
yeah,
don't really care. I guess I don't care that much either, but I can
mhm.
get into a racing movie. But
Hmm.
yeah, I had no clue what the type of racing I'm watching at all and why it's important and
Yeah,
what the strategy is behind it.
yeah, yeah. I get F1 is like huge
It's a
right
big
now.
deal, right? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So maybe we're just missing something, but
right.
um, yeah.
I think I saw a lot of trailers, like because you were mentioning those other films that are coming out this year. Um,
Uh,
I know what you did last summer and
yes, yeah, the
this
horror,
stuff.
like,
Yeah, the horror
yeah.
stuff. But there were a lot of trailers that piqued my interest
Oh,
in this movie. Where I don't know, I just felt, and there was a lot of posters in the theater where I was just like, there's really a lot of good stuff coming up out. Like I feel like right now, like there's a lot of good stuff out now, but I feel like it's more like it's very summer blockbuster, Jurassic and Superman and
yeah.
stuff like that. And I mean, we know Jurassic is going to suck ass.
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
like we just know it. They've all
Yeah.
sucked.
Yeah.
So, but
Really,
there's a lot
other than the first Jurassic Park, they
of
I mean,
they're all
I still like the other two in like the original trilogy, I guess. Better than
right.
the new ones, but they still have all really not been good since the first one.
Yeah, I mean the
Yeah.
World trilogy, if you want to call it that, has really hurts your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I can't remember when I saw 28 Years Later, I can't remember all um the trailers I saw. I don't know. I went to
I know.
like
I
the
wish I
Film
could
Society
name
here. I
some of
don't know if they
these.
share more like I felt like there was more like foreign art house stuff that I wasn't like super familiar with, but I don't know if that's also just like stuff that is coming out for like a wide release as well. I don't know.
I'm
Um,
not. I can't. I wish I could go into these trailers, but I don't really know. Like it'll be tiresome and tedious if I try to
yeah,
like
not worth it.
look them up and explain what it's about. Like
I would
that
say
won't be that won't be fun for anybody, John. Let's
let's just skip that part. Yeah. I will say I am excited for the Odyssey, Christopher
Yes,
Nolan's The
I've
Odyssey.
heard good things about that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That I guess just to summarize it without naming any specific without having anything specific to back up my claims here. I don't know. I was very let's just say going to the movies yesterday, I was very optimistic about the movie industry. Yeah.
Great.
With
That's
nothing let's just keep it as vague as that. With nothing to back up. I have no yeah,
I like it.
I have no reasons why.
Well, that gets me excited. Yeah.
that makes
Keep it vague. Keep people on
that
their
makes me
toes.
intrigued to why. Yeah. Um oh, okay. And so I also watched there's a on the A24 podcast, there's a Bill Hader, Ari Aster conversation, which I know you would love, John. And they
Gonna
talk
get to
about
it.
it's great. They talk about so many movies, and including Ari Aster's new film Eddington, I believe it's
That's
called. And
right.
Bill Hader talks about seeing it and how he just Bill Hader said Eddington's a masterpiece. Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Um,
yeah, this is a masterpiece.
no, literally, yeah, yeah.
Masterpiece. Yeah.
He's like, I got out of the theater and I was like, this is an absolute masterpiece. I don't know. It feels weird to try to impersonate the greatest impressionist.
The
Yeah,
impression guy. Yeah.
feels hacky. Um, but like, I don't know what I think, and also, Hader, Hader's in. I don't know if you knew this, or maybe we knew this and forgot that Hader's in Beau is Afraid. He's like the guy on the phone who's like yelling frantically in this one scene. Did you know
Wow,
that?
I don't remember that. No.
Yeah, I don't know. It kind of like I know it's just one part of it, but it made me want to like rewatch Beau is Afraid, especially because I remember you liked it more than me, and then like I don't know, it made me feel like I didn't understand it, which made me feel stupid.
You're such an idiot, man.
Yeah, it
No.
made me feel
I don't
I was
think
like,
I
well,
understood it that much either, but it was
right,
actually
but you enjoyed it. You enjoyed it more than I did.
yeah. It was yeah, I thought it still really piqued my interest. And I saw it was on TV the other day and I thought about rewatching it. So yeah, that's maybe I will.
The list builds
Hmm.
again. Yeah,
What did you say about rewatching in the
you
summer, you
mentioned
know?
Beau's Afraid.
Yeah.
That's how usually the attitude people have of rewatching Beau is Afraid.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, I've got a little mischievous idea. We rewatched Beau is Afraid, that weird Ari Aster anxiety movie with Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway, sorry, I derailed that now. What were you saying?
I mean, other not much. I wasn't saying much, but
Oh,
otherwise, like the interview, I don't know. It just so they talk a little bit about Ari Aster's work, of course, but then they go into they talk so much about movies, and I just love I just love how much Bill Hader knows about movies.
yeah.
Anytime he's
Yeah.
in these conversations, like he can just name drop and talking about how he's like, yeah, I remember seeing Taxi Driver when I was 16 and thinking there's no taxi driver and just like being obsessed with Taxi Drivers. Like saw Clockwork Orange when I was 19 and I just thought it was the greatest thing ever. Just like how has such a history of being a film nerd. Um, and also it made me think like how certain I don't know if you ever think about this, like being a comedy nerd, like I don't know, where does the comedy well spring from for a lot of these like comedy geniuses? Like I know that like there's certain people like Conan O'Brien and like Larry David who are both like weirdly into they're just like really into history and how their comedy well just really springs randomly from history. Um, and then like Bill Hader I think is one of the funniest guys ever. But weirdly, I feel like his comedy, like he's just all but randomly he's just like the biggest cinephile ever. Um, but yet he did he went into his life goals were to be a filmmaker, of course, but he ended up becoming like a top five SNL cast member. And if you watch him on a talk show, I am more into Hader than like I'm like, dude, he's unstoppable on this as a talk show guest. Just he's funnier
Yeah.
than, and partly it's because of his impressions ability, but he also is just a naturally just hilarious person on top of that and has amazing timing. And I just couldn't help but notice when I watched these Hader videos, I'm like, dude, I feel like his comedy well is like he just watches so much movies and TV and has so much to draw from that. And a lot of like his comedy well is the fact that he can impersonate Jimmy Stewart like so
Yeah.
well and
Yeah.
like stuff like that. Yeah, and his connection to old Hollywood movies and stuff like that.
Yeah, I feel like he's like a film nerd that also happens to be super naturally funny.
Yeah,
And I assume I feel like part of that's like, the nature versus nurture thing. I feel like maybe that's just like his, stems from his family or something. But yeah, the way he's just able to do these voices. And
yeah,
then he's also just seems like a down to earth guy, like just very genuine person that he is just really nerdy about this stuff, especially with how all the details he knows about every movie that he
right,
really
right.
likes. And yeah, he just seems like one of these obsessive people. And he just, yeah, also happens to be like a natural performer and funny person. Yeah, I love this. There's this YouTube channel. It's like James Whale Bake Sale. That sounds insane,
Yeah,
but it's
I know
something
that
like
one.
that. Have you
Yeah,
seen that?
yeah.
It's
There's a
just
lot of great
like,
stuff from that.
yeah, just like quick clips of people like Bill Hader talking about some of their favorite movies while they show, scenes from it. And this channel just is taking like excerpts from different podcast interviews or talk show
Right.
interviews. And
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot
yeah,
of
and
like Paul Thomas Anderson ones, so that's why I
yep,
think it gets recommended to me.
yeah. And it's
But yeah,
just Bill Hader's one of those people who I love hearing them talk about movies or anything that
yeah,
he's really interested in because it's funny, or even like those on some talk shows he's gone into like his other niche uh obsessions like Dateline, like that's how it's always funny when someone is like so clearly really into something and they know it so well that they can also
hmm
like dissect what they enjoy about it and also what is kind of funny about it or what's entertaining. And yeah, I feel like he does that really well. um
yeah. No, it was. I don't know. I almost feel like I related to his cinephilia a bit, like maybe like because I feel like you and I, when we are like we have a movie obsessive side to us where we want to watch everything or um, talk about things in depth that we're obsessed with. And when we do, there's sort of an awareness to how like maybe crazy we are for being or how much time we've put into it or
yes.
whatever. And I feel like
Yeah.
he has that way too. He just strikes me as like he's just a dude from I think I like we're dudes from the suburbs, but he's like a dude from like a small town, like very innocent, and
Yeah.
just got really into this stuff. Uh yeah. There's like parts where they're talking about like their favorite Ford movies and he's like, I remember watching Star Wars and there's the scene where Luke's parents, he finds that his uncle, aunt, and uncle died, and like that's just like a shot from The Searchers, and they're like him and Ari Aster like list their favorite John Ford movies, and they're like I like who shot the man who shot Liberty Valance and Mr. Lincoln, and I'm like, oh, those are my favorite Fords too, and I remember when I thought those are my favorite Fords, and how I like that more than the Searchers, and how the Searchers is just kind of mainstream. um, Trying to think of what else they talk about, but yeah, it's mainly stuff like that. Um, yeah, you should check it out. That's
Yeah.
really all I have to say about
I'll probably honestly watch that as soon as we're done. Uh, I'll
it.
pop that on and yeah.
Yeah. Well, you still have Criterion, right? So
I
you'll be
do,
able to,
yeah.
yeah. So you have
So that'll,
not only will you have the inspiration, but you have the tools to, to follow through.
yeah,
Not everyone has
that'll
both.
that'll give me the inspo I need for
Yeah.
while I'm on dog rehabilitation duty today. I'll be
It's a perfect, it's a
devouring that.
perfect day on dog rehabilitation days to
Yeah.
rewatch Ashes and Diamonds.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Nothing better than on a hot summer day where the air quality is bad and I got a injured dog. Might as well just watch Ashes and Diamonds and whatever else Bill Hader tells me to watch in this Ari
Right,
Aster
right.
interview. Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we
Well,
get into The Office here. Yeah.
yeah, I suppose I this reminded me of a comment we got on one of our videos like a year ago. We had like a specific
Yeah, yeah.
theme for that episode, and then someone commented, they're like, "I'm enjoying it, but we're an hour in and you haven't even talked about this. Can you add timestamps to
Yeah, I remember that
it?"
guy. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck you, man. You're either with us or you're not, man. All right.
It's the one person who said they're enjoying it.
And he was also like complimentary too. He's
And
just like,
yeah, yeah.
you could really help me out.
And has a valid thing to say.
I feel the same way when I'm watching a longer podcast or YouTube video. It's like, yeah, I wanna know when you're gonna get to the stuff that I want to hear about. Yeah.
Yep. And I'm just stubbornly like, this is the way. This is the way to do it.
Yeah. If you're not rocking with us how we are, then we're not rocking with you, you know?
We're not rocking with you. Yeah, and John, I could really use the money.
We gotta diversify
Any money we could make at all, like, would really help me out
yeah,
a lot.
that would be sick. Yeah.
But but yeah, if like somehow we could sell shirts, we use the website to sell shirts.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like, like some of the fun stuff, like I feel like we would not like because we're I don't know. I feel like we'd be good at like just having a fun way of plugging shirts or
Yeah.
something. Like I'm sure we could come up with a fun way of like buy our shirt, buy our merch. I'm sure we could like come up with funny content for that. But like it could also be like a funny ad, but also like genuinely be selling a shirt that is cool,
Yes. Yeah, for
like
sure.
yeah. So let's think about that
I like it. Yeah.
instead of this. So here's what we got going,
It
John. Radio show, shirts.
movie podcast, radio show, yeah, brand, streetwear brand, and
We're in all the businesses.
restaurant, maybe
Cinebums,
hotel,
Cinebums, food. Hospitality industry is big.
hospital. Let's cover every industry.
Yeah,
Oil, yeah, I want to be everywhere. Pharmaceutical,
yeah,
yeah.
uh, yeah.
We'll rebrand Adderall as movie watching steroids or something.
we're doing ads for Adderall movie
Yeah.
steroid.
It's essentially a movie steroid. It helps you consume more movies and be more locked in.
Do you like methamphetamine?
Yeah.